You want to find that drive and focus that has you locked in and on fire every single day? My book, The Mirror Motivation, will do it for you. I bought a copy for you. You take care of the shipping. The book is free. Click the link down there. I got you.
DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, workonmygame.com, DreAllDay.com. I talked a couple weeks ago about the Revolt Summit panel that turned into a debate. I know there's a difference between a panel and a debate, right? It's supposed to be a panel. It became a debate between three main people talking. It was Killer Mike, Candace Owens, and T.I. And something that I thought about additionally to that was, you think about someone like Candace Owens. She has established herself as someone who has been for the most part, anti-Democrat. She has been pro-Republican, pro-Trump. She was anti-Obama. She has positioned herself, even though she's a black woman, as someone who's kind of what we call the culture these days, which is basically not all of black culture, but it's what black people who use social media are saying. We consider that to be the culture, even though that's absolutely not representative of our entire culture. She's represented herself as somebody who is not with the culture, right? And people who are within the culture, and I got to use air quotes, they're not feeling Candace Owens. They are anti-Candace Owens because she's a black person who's not agreeing with what everybody else in the black culture is saying. It's not everybody, but you get what I'm saying, right? So her showing up to the Revolt Summit on the same stage as T.I., who has been outspoken as I guess we call an advocate of the culture, and Killer Mike, who is in some ways advocate of the culture, but other ways he gives people the real that I think often goes over people's heads when he tells them what they're saying. For her to step on that stage in front of an audience of people who already had decided, I believe there's a whole bunch of people in that room who, a lot of people know who Candace is because she's become prominent on social media for her stance and because she's a black woman going against the culture. And Puff Daddy's conference being a Puff Daddy conference, she knew what she was stepping into, right? A whole bunch of people in that room knew who she was, and they had already formed opinions about her before she got there. I think we all can agree to that. Anybody who knows what I'm talking about, we all can agree to that, to those points. So to me, and to you also, Candace knew she was playing a road game, right? And I said in the video that I did about the whole panel/debate that T.I. was playing a home game. He's from Atlanta. The event was in Atlanta. He had a whole bunch of his own supporters in the crowd. So basically anything he said was going to get co-signed because he was playing at home. Just like you playing a home game in sports. As soon as you do anything that's even halfway good, the crowd's going to cheer for it because they want you to win. Now, if you're on the road, and especially if the crowd dislikes you, then anything you do, the crowd's going to find a way to go against it because they want you to lose. And that's what Candace Owens was stepping into. She was stepping into a road game. And here's the point that I want y'all to understand. In sports, those of you who follow sports, you understand that to be a champion in sports, you have to win on the road. At some point, you got to go on the road and you got to win a game. Whether that be in the playoffs, in the regular season, you have to be able to win games on the road to win a championship. Even if you have home field advantage, like in a playoff series or something like that, you still got to win some road games to be a champion. All right? I ain't never seen a champion never win any games on the road. You got to do something on the road to be successful. And it's the same thing in life. You had to be able to go into situations where you're in sports what we call a hostile environment. And I think Candace Owens, I think we can agree that this equates. She was stepping into a hostile environment by going to that Revolt Summit and talking politics with a fiery guy like T.I., who she knew was going to challenge him and challenge her and go against her and shit. She stepped into that and she stood tall. Whether you agree with her points or not, you have to agree that she stood on her points. She stood on her beliefs. She stood on her opinions. Whether she got booed or cheered, she stood on it. And a lot of people in life either avoid playing in road games, meaning they wouldn't step into a hostile situation in which everything's not set up for them to win. They wouldn't even put themselves in the position to be there, number one. Or number two, when they do step into a road game situation, that hostile environment, they fold up. They quit. They fall apart. They can't stand tall on their points or their positions or whatever it is they're doing when they don't have the support of the crowd. Candace Owens did it. And whether, again, my point, whether you agree with her or not, whether you think she's a good or bad, whether you think she has some good points or not, is not the argument that I'm making here. you don't even have to care about politics. You don't even have to know who Candace Owens is. If you just take the story that I gave you there, the setup of what I just gave you, understand that she was on a road game. And if you're not willing to step into a road game, you're not willing to play in road games, and you can't win a road game, you can't go into a road game and just stand on whatever it is you're standing on and walk out of there with your head up. That's what I mean by winning. I don't mean having a crowd behind you, because the crowd often does not decide who wins. But if you're not willing to do that, you can't be a champion. You can't be a success. You can't be a leader, and nobody's going to follow you if you can't win on the road, because everybody's comfortable when they're playing at home. Everybody's comfortable when everybody's cheering for you. Everyone's going to co-sign whatever it is you do. People will find a way to paper over your mistakes and your incongruencies. When things are inconsistent, people will paper over it when you're in front of a home crowd, people who want you to win. When you're in front of people who want you to lose, every little thing's going to get nitpicked. Every little thing's going to get attacked. Nothing you do well is going to get clapped for. Can you still stand tall in that situation? If you can, you are eligible to be a champion. But if you can't, you'll never be a champion. Marinate on that. Work on your game. Dre.